Why do people hire you? Why not just do it themselves? Why is the solution that you offer something that many, many companies are beginning to use?
Sure, because it is important that you hire the right people. So it's important that you hire drug-free employees. And it's also important that it's run well. It can cost a lot of money internally for a company to hire somebody to do that. So there's no need to when you have team.
So you wouldn't hire Charlie Sheen, is what you're saying. That's be your professional advice.
Probably not to work on a safety-sensitive job site. No.
Okay, that's a good answer. It was a good answer. Okay,
sorry, Chuck.
Okay, sorry. Now here's the thing. We're talking about step one, though. Commit to setting up a repeatable sales machine. Now you've obviously had a lot of success, and a lot of entrepreneurs go, "Yeah, I made my system, I made my script, I made my pre-written email, I've made my system, my processes, but I'm struggling to get my team to actually do the system." Mm-hmm. What advice would you have for them?
Well, I would say coach, a lot of coaching. So when I have new people and new salespeople, I typically go in with them and I give them feedback immediately.
You do?
I do.
What kind of feedback?
Positive and sometimes, things that they can improve on. I know.
Oh, that's hurtful. Oh, that's hurtful. You're so mean.
Why do you, I'm just, I want to kind of role play a scenario.
Okay.
So let's say that I'm on the phone. I'm Clay. I'm your newest guy. Mm-hmm. And I'm not following the system, okay? I'm just not. For whatever reason, whether I choose not to or I didn't know or whatever. So I'm just, and you catch me. Do you hear me? Do you walk around and listen? Or the call's recorded? How do you know I'm not doing a good job?
Well, typically for us, is I will go to the meeting with you or I will listen as you're speaking on the phone.
And so here it comes. What advice, how would you say it if someone's willfully not, or maybe unintentionally not using the system?
I would first say, tell them how that they handled it, and then I would give them an example of how they could probably have handled it better.
Now, for a lot of people listening, giving feedback to people that's not positive is, it's scary.
It's scary because, they may take a swing at you. They might get their feelings hurt.
So I want to know,
that's on you.
I want to know, though, Hillary, why is it so scary? You've helped train people. Why is it scary? Maybe when you first started, it was scary. Why is it scary to give people feedback that's not super positive?
Because you don't want them to feel bad. I can understand that. But at the end of the day, it's your business and you want it to succeed. Have
you always been that way, or have you had to kind of learn to get over that?
Oh, I've definitely had to learn. It did not come easy in the beginning.
I'm kind of curious. Okay, so you got Clay's your new sales associate right over here, okay?
Hello.
And you go on a sales, excuse me, folks, and you go on a sales call with you. I get a little choked up when I think about you being a sales associate for somebody. You got a job. You finally got a job.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is messing up. He's telling a potential client things that are not true about your business.
Here is my presentation.
Okay.
So basically what we do is it's like we help people get drug-free. We make sure they're drug-free. None of us have ever done drugs, and we are probably the best company in the world overall. The name of our company is called Team. But basically, the biggest companies in the world, like British Petroleum, for instance, probably uses us. Probably.
Okay, so you're listening to this and you're horrified. I'm sure of it. And so you would pull him aside. What would you say to Clay?
I would say, did you listen to what the customer's needs were?
I was going to, but I was talking to him about other planetary systems and how we might be the best service out there on the galaxy. And I just felt like I was on a roll, and I just wanted to give him the education.
And so you kind of information dumped?
Yeah, I call it the machine gun. Boom, 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 boom. That's how I used to do it when I worked over at the furniture store. I used to just boom, 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 machine gun.
So when you walked out, how did you feel like you could, with your product, how could you make him provide a better service for him?
I do not know.
Machine gun, I like that.
That's what people do, though, all the time.
Okay, another question, Henry. Okay, so you coach him up, you walk him through the thing, you're nice, you're obviously a nice person, you're trying to be nice. He's this knucklehead new sales guy with the machine gun and all that. How many times, just out of curiosity, how many times would he have to go in and mess that up before you would really think about, maybe I made a bad decision hiring him?
Well, I think if he did that, I'd make him practice in front of his peers first before we went into another call. So he would have to perform in front of us before I'd let him loose again.
You sound like you do this a lot. This is what you do. You train people. Mm-hmm. And you matriculate, you coach up, you work with these people. Mm-hmm. And I'd see a lot of entrepreneurs out there who hire people. And step number one is let's not train them at all. Let's just get them on the phone. Mm. And I think for certain things, certain industries, certain things, it's like the higher the skill or the higher the complexity, the more training is required. How much training is required in your business before someone can get going?
Oh, it would take months before I would allow anybody to do a sales call on their
Months?
own. Months.
Wow. This just in months. Now, Thrivers, coming up next, we're going to be talking about step number 2 as we're teaching you how to build this sales super system. We're trying to teach everybody today how you can increase your sales dramatically. You must find 3 lead generation strategies on this beautiful Thanksgiving, Dr. Z.
I'm playing a little Thanksgiving song, Adam Sandler.
Oh,
to take us
beautiful.
out on this segment.
I heard you love Adam Sandler.
Oh, he's one of my all-time favorites. Oh, you're going to do well on the show.
Crank it up, Z. Crank it up.
Love to eat
Turkey. Stay tuned. Thrive Time Show.
You're listening to the Thrive Time Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Hello, Thrive Nation, and welcome back to your inspiration station. Stick on this dial for a while. It's the Thrive Time Show, typically during your drive time home. However, today, I know for many of you, it's the Thrive Time Show during your dojo of Turkey Mojo. You're basically sitting down, you're about ready to have something great to eat, and your wife or your husband, your husband's like, what are you watching in there? What are you listening to? We got to carve the turkey, and you're going, nothing. I'm just trying to listen to something real quick, And it's okay. It's okay, Thrivers, because if you want to leave and eat some food and then come back, you can always listen to the ThriveTimeShow.com. Again, it's ThriveTimeShow.com, where we archive all of the radio shows. You can listen to it as much as you want. But today on this beautiful Thanksgiving edition, we're talking about how to build a repeatable sales system. We're teaching the high art of sales. And Dr. Z, why are you so excited about talking about sales on Thanksgiving?
Well, because I can't imagine anything better than sitting there eating a little bitty eating some cranberry sauce.
Oh, wow.
Learning how to increase my sales. I mean, what goes better than increased sales than cranberry sauce?
And you and I,
stuffing, some gravy,
pie,
whipped topping.
Whipped topping?
Whipped. What? Did I not say it right?
No, and this weekend we went to the Metropolitan Baptist Church together, and the pastor apparently doesn't like if you bring over runny macaroni. You can't do that.
You can't do it. It's a thing.
He'll be upset. Pastor Ray Owens does not like runny macaroni. Don't be bringing that to his house.
Yeah, don't. Just go by the store, pick up some good macaroni and cheese before you go by the Reverend's house.
Now, we have a very special guest today, and she has to put up with us within the box that rocks here on the friendly confines of the Thrive15.com world headquarters. It's Miss Hillary Jenny. Miss Hillary, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
First off, I'm sort of intimidated because I'm reading your bio here, and I'm going, graduated from the University of Oklahoma.
Bombasuna.
Win for you, loss for me. Took over management in October of 2011, and she ends up growing this business from 4 employees to today where you have over 22 employees. Things are going well. And so we're talking about sales, and so I'm sort of emotional. I'm excited for you to enlighten us with some of your tips and strategies here. Step 2 we're talking about is you must find 3 lead generation strategies that work. I want to ask you this. Why, Hillary, is it so essential for every entrepreneur listening right now to find some lead generation strategy that works, to find a go-to move?
Because you've got to find something that works for you so you can continue to grow. So if you don't have a strategy, you're going to be in trouble.
Do you guys have a move there that you use over and over? Do you have kind of a move, kind of a secret move, kind of a thunder move to generate leads over there at a team?
We have several.
Ooh.
We, based for our business, we typically go... there are safety monitoring companies that do the same thing we do for drug and alcohol. So we'll go and target some of their customers because if they're monitoring for safety, they surely need to be monitoring for drug and alcohol.
And do you buy a list, or how do you go get that list? Is that something that you have to go secure that list? Do you have to do a lot of research? How do you find that initial group of people to target?
And we've developed partnerships with different businesses. So we've been able to work together and share some contacts that way.
And you're B2B sales. You're selling business to business typically, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, someone who's listening right now, you maybe say, I'm selling B to customer. I'm selling business to customer. Either way, I'm going to give you a notable quotable that blew my mind the first time I read it. This is from Ben Horowitz, who, oh, by the way, grew a company called Opsware. And a company that most people don't know about, but he sold it for $1.6 billion of cash. Cash.
That's a lot of money.
Not stocks, but cash to Hewlett Packard. He says this: hire salespeople who are really smart problem solvers, but lack courage, hunger, and competitiveness, and your company will go out of business. Z, why do your salespeople, at the end of the day, even if they're smart problem solvers, why do they have to have courage, hunger, and competitiveness?
Well, because there are other people out there trying to sell the same thing too. So the
What?
competitive, yeah, you got to have competitiveness because you want to win. You want winners. We want a team of winners. I want to win. We got to win. You got to dominate, and you got to be hunger. There's a thing about the cats. The skinny cat is a better mouser than the fat cat because.
Z, what about for anybody who feels like that everyone should just work together and there's no competition? There shouldn't be anybody out
Well,
there
I think
trying to sell
communism
what you're selling.
is a fine thing in theory. You know, we all sit around and everybody shares equally and there's no competition. We're all working, bringing the harvest together and then share equally. It's a great concept, but it's not what made this country great. Competitiveness made this country great. So having someone that's really smart is great, but you want someone out there who's hungry for the sale and competitive.
How does Hillary find the hungry people? What do? You just go into a line of people, look for someone really skinny, and you're like, you obviously haven't sold anything in a while. You, my friend, look hungry.
You look hungry.
What's your move? How do you find hungry salespeople?
Well, I interviewed the tar out of him for one.
Do you really?
I do. We have a long interview process.
So they're tarless when they're done.
That's right, they are. And I like to hire people that have been successful previously. And you can tell, somebody who's got thick skin and not afraid to hear the word no, because you do hear the word no quite often in sales.
So you interview people until your mind almost explodes.
We also do personality tests.
Do you really?
We do.
What kind of personality test do you do?
We make them take a test, and based on their personality determines what position we'll put them in. So we may interview somebody for one job and completely change their path based on their personality.
Which one do you use? Briggs Meyer? Who do you use?
We use now I'm drawing a blank. There's 4 letters.
It'll come to
It'll
us.
come to me.
ENIFJ.
Yes,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah,
That's what we use.
Yeah.
Now, for anybody who's listening right now, I want to tell you something, because coming up after the break, we're going to be unpacking. We're going to be unpacking some of them, not all of them, but a few of those tough interview questions that Hillary may ask. A few of those questions where she asks these questions, she does these things, and it helps her sift out the intenders, the pretenders, from the real people. So if you've ever struggled to find the right people to execute your sales systems, she's going to give us a few of her tips, a few of her moves. Not all of them, because it's a very successful company. We don't give away all the secrets on this Thanksgiving. She's very thankful that her company's growing, and see if she gave away all of the secrets, it wouldn't grow quite as well maybe. So stay tuned. Thrive Time Show, Thanksgiving edition. Gobble, gobble.
You're listening to the Thrive Time Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show during your drive time home. Typically, however, today, many of you are probably sitting down to eat. Maybe you snuck away to listen to various portions of the show. Maybe you forgot something. You're running up to Quick Trip here. You're about ready to sit down at the family meal, and you realize we don't have enough holiday Thanksgiving milk. I've got to go to QT. And somehow you're listening to this show on this beautiful holiday edition. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year and the father of 5 human kids. I think a lot of people are concerned. Are they human kids? Are they real kids? They're real kids. 5 human kids. And I'm joined here with the man, the myth, the legend, a guy who has 3 kids, 3 human kids. It's Dr. Robert Zellner. Sir, how are you?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there. And, it's Thrive Time it's about pie time.
Thrive Time at Pie Time. This just in. It's high time for pie time.
It's high time for thriving at pie time.
Wow, it's unbelievable.
Oh.
It's just rhyming all the time. We cannot stop it here. And we have a very special guest today, a lady who has had a lot of success in the world of business, but specifically, she's the Vice President of Team Professional Services. It's Miss Hillary Jenny. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I want to ask you, what does Team Professional Services, what do you guys do over there?
We provide drug and alcohol testing for companies all over the country.
So if someone's listening right now and they go, well, how can you help me? I mean, what kind of business owners can you help out there? What kind of listeners could you help this Thanksgiving?
Anybody that hires employees, anybody that has a business.
So, and you help them do what? You help them kind of pre-screen, make sure the people they're hiring are not addicted to drugs. Is that right?
We do. We also provide background screening and can do pre-implement physicals as well.
Do you feel like if your team would have been interviewing, pre-screening Barry Bonds, that the San Francisco Giants might not have hired him, or could he have snuck through with the system with all the steroids